Now, hello everybody! Welcome! We have another guest here, but this time for the 6th episode. I'm pretty far away at this point. Welcome, Rocco. How's it going?
It's going good. It's good to be here. I figured I'd wear some extra special accessories for the occasion.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool drip, though.
Thank you. I got it on the internet.
Oh, hell yeah. The best place to get stuff like this.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah. Well, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Sure. Hello. My name's Rocco. I'm an armadillo creature thing. I'll take off my... let me take these off so I can actually see people. Ignore the floating crap to my left.
It's alright.
I'm Rocco. I'm an armadillo VTuber. I'm a game designer. I'm an artist. I'm a variety streamer. I kind of do whatever the heck I feel like. Usually that ends up being rage games. I do a lot of Dark Souls, Jump King, getting over it. Suffer. And then sometimes some retro games.
Ooh, nice. Alright, so I usually like to start the show with the classic question: what games do you consider your favorites, or what genre you consider your favorite? But in this case, I wanted to ask: did you watch the conference that was happening? An hour ago?
Xbox One? No, I did not. I was in bed.
Yeah, I believe so. Okay.
Yeah, did I miss anything good? I saw the Silk Song trailer. I saw whatever the heck that Bethesda space game is.
Starfield.
And I saw Persona on PC.
Which
is really nice.
Yeah,
that's kind of the best part. I love JRPGs.
And the fact that we're getting finally a port from Persona Portable, that's the best part. And Persona 5 finally on PC. Finally.
Modders are gonna have a field day.
Oh, yeah, I can see it now. Holy shit. But yeah. Yeah, that presentation was pretty good. I mean, there was a lot of interesting stuff besides that, but...
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go back and look through it.
Yeah. There's some pretty good indie games that have some pretty neat mechanics also.
I'll have to keep my eyes peeled for that. I know that that like Xbox Game Pass has actually been super good for indie developers.
There's a lot of stuff coming up for that thing.
Yeah. The fact that they got Silk Song as like day one Game Pass is crazy.
Yeah.
That's a serious money move right there.
That and the Persona collection, if you think about it, like, it's the first time Persona 3 Portable is getting re-released, and you're getting Persona 5 Royale at that. That's a pretty good deal. Even though you have Persona 4 Golden already on Steam, that's a pretty good deal.
I mean, it was kind of a matter of time considering what a success Persona 4 was with the PC release. Like, they quickly realized, oh my god, we need to bring a lot more of our games to PC.
Yeah.
I hope they follow suit with more of the Shin Megami Tensei games, because I'm more into those.
Yeah. Yeah, the Shin Megami Tensei games, well, those aren't getting re-releases compared to the Persona 1. Well, Persona technically is the most popular series for Atlus at this point, but... Yeah, good for some other games. It will be nice.
Well, Persona 5 has probably sold like almost 10 million copies, whereas I think SMT5 sold like 1 million. Like it's night and day. It's not even close.
Yeah, true. I think Shin Megami Tensei 5 it might be the best-selling Shin Megami Tensei at this point.
Yeah, so long as you're not counting like Persona games, yes. Yeah.
The Shin Megami is a separate thing, like, for the Shin Megami series. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such, like, semantics as to what you want to consider a Shin Megami Tensei game. Just because it's such, like, a branching complicated series.
Like someone described that as technically Pokemon but with demons.
Yeah, I've heard Shin Megami Tensei is described as, you know, those parents who are like, Pokemon will turn your children satanic. Shin Megami Tensei is exactly what they were afraid Pokemon was.
What the hell?
So that's a good.
That's it.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of good stuff, what other games do you recommend besides, of course, the difficult games you play on your channel and all that?
I can't say I recommend difficult games, right? Like I can't beat getting over it and immediately go, this game's for everyone, because it's so very not.
Exactly. You need a lot of patience for games like that.
Yeah. There are so many different games that I would recommend for different reasons that I don't even think I'd know where to start on just, like, game recommendations. Like, that's the thing, is I've been playing games my whole life, and it's my career, and my hobby, and my side hustle. Like, game is life.
Yep, pretty much.
I'd say some must-plays would be Hylix 2, Hypnospace Outlaw, and I'm getting that vibe from Sea of Stars when it comes out. I'm really hyped for Sea of Stars.
Got it. I need to look into those then.
Yeah, there's so many good indie games that they're so good.
Well, in my case, I've been playing video games too, like my whole life. It's basically what inspired my career in content creation to begin with. But if I have to recommend indie games, my crosshair it's on Guacamelee, the Guacamelee series, like 100%. Those platformers, beat 'em up games are one of the best games you can have as an indie. Like, at least from my perspective, I love platformers and I love a good combat system that includes abilities to use in combos and all of that. It's so good.
Are you big on Metroidvanias?
Not that much, sadly. I tried a few, like the classic Super Metroid on NES, then I tried Action Verge a little bit, but I didn't click with those.
I would not suggest starting with Super Metroid, actually.
Why not?
I would, the main reason is, like, people are like, oh, what a timeless classic, but it's more so that it was the first Metroid that really got it right. So, like, I would personally suggest Metroid Zero Mission on the Game Boy Advance. It's a remake of the first Metroid. It's pretty cut, pretty dry. You know exactly what you're getting. It's just good old Metroid 1, but refined to a polish. I think it's really accessible. I'm a huge enthusiast of the genre, so naturally I've played Guacamelee 1 and 2.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm kinda completionist with those two. In fact, I ended up managing the 100% on both games, and I'm pretty happy about it. But
Guacamelee 2 had some serious, like, difficult completion stuff. Like, there were some insane platforming challenges in it.
Yeah. I guess the first one has those too, but you're right. Guacamelee 2 has some really hard ones. Like, the difficulty spike between those two games are really, really something.
Yeah, I ended up doing all of the stuff to get the true ending. I think I need to, like, figure out how I felt about, like, the super difficult content, because a lot of it felt like just this ongoing gauntlet, as opposed to, like, a here now show me your skill kind of thing. If that makes any sense.
Well, kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the challenges are kind of similar to the first game, but there are some others that they're just there. Like,
Yeah.
you can access them even without all the power-ups, and you still can make it, instead of the super difficult challenges that ask everything out of you.
Yeah. And boy did it. I've always been a fan of like when Metroidvania games have sequence breaks and you go out of the, big air quotes here, intended order. I just really love that.
Yeah, like in some areas, like you have that order of stuff you need to do, but at the same time you have the freedom to go further or go back to do it or something like that. I love that. Like the backtracking that is necessary, but at the same time is not.
Yeah. I think it also adds replayability when there's like that many routes to approach a game from. So I started work on like a prototype with a friend, and I really, really, really want to like go at it with the intent to make it like a sequence breakable game and really push like my level design skills to the limit.
Ooh. That sounds interesting, to be honest.
It's probably out of scope for what the two of us are able and willing to commit to it, between like work and job hunt and taking care of the house and streaming and all the other million things we have going on in our lives.
Yeah, but that's how it works technically. You guys are technically doing job but because you want to do it. No, you're not getting paid for this. At least not yet.
Yeah, I put out a job application last night. One of my friends helped me write it. He's a professional writer. Dude, it was the best cover letter I've sent in my life. I sounded like a force of nature. I sounded like a beast. Hold on, do you want to hear this?
Oh, for sure. We can show it even. I have a reaction room.
I cannot show it because it has my real name all over it.
Okay, just...
Yeah.
Then let's read it. Let's hear it. Why not?
Here we go. Dear hiring manager, I am a generalist designer with a specialty in systems and mechanics design with 5 years of experience creating video games in a professional environment, and have been creating games as a hobby for around 14 years. The overwhelming bulk of my experience has been on small indie cross-functional teams, although I was fortunate enough to have a 9-week internship working at insert company name of a place I worked at on insert game I worked at during summer 2020 to gain some AAA experience on their balancing team. I'm incredibly enthusiastic about working in a AAA studio such as insert name of place I applied to, as I am an incredibly social and outgoing person who... This goes on for a while. I just want to give you the opening paragraph.
That sounds like a money winning in terms of an employee. Holy shit.
It comes out swinging. I'm like, I am experienced, I am capable, I am well-rounded, I have indie experience, AAA experience, I'm passionate, I've lived in the city, one of my best friends works at your studio, I will adjust instantaneously, I have family there. Hire me, you fucking fools. I'm ready to go ham.
What the hell? Okay, that's a CV. Holy shit, that's a curriculum. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Woo. But yeah, you say you work as a designer on a game, right? But
yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Do you have any experience with direction, or do you know any like game director or game producer?
I have directed a game before.
Oh.
Yeah. If I'm directing something, let me tell you what it means. It means that there is a serious issue with our manpower.
What? Why?
So when I'm at my best, when I am able to sit down and focus on the rules of the game, and the numbers that go into the behind the scenes of like this meter affects this, and here's how these numbers affect each other, and here's what is and is not balanced. And I can do all sorts of crap. I can do art, I can do programming, I can do graphic design, I can do writing. I'll do anything except music, basically. to varying degrees of success. So what that means is often that when I'm working on like a small 5-6 person team, if we don't have someone who specializes in like team management, I will often end up stepping up to the plate to be like the lead or director or product owner, you know, depending. Mainly just because, I don't know. I really, like, there's this idea that I subscribe to that is like, there's a finite amount of control over the finished project that one individual person should have. Like, so freshman year of college, I had a project that was, I think, a 4-man team. And on this team, I was the director and the lead designer and the producer. Like, I effectively had almost complete control over the product. And I constantly asked my teammates, like, what do you guys think about this? What are you guys' opinions on this? What do you want to add to this or remove to this? And they were like, it's up to you, man. And I know.
Come on, dude. At least give me some feedback, dude. I know I'm directing here, but at least I want to know your opinions. Come on.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I think it was fine, though, because at the time we were college freshmen.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's not like we had enough experience to really, like, get that right. So I've directed, like, small games that have gone on for maybe 1 to 3 months. Like, short projects. I can't say that I love directing. I think it's, like, fun. It's fine. There was this one time on a project I did. I'm avoiding naming all of these only because they have so few team members that I would dox myself if I said what I worked on.
Yeah, just give don't give details.
Yeah.
Just the story itself is just pretty good.
Yeah. So, I guess this was probably early 2021. I was on an indie team for school for a big senior project, and we had recently expanded. So I basically stepped up from, like, generalist, many hats designer. So I went from doing, like, QA and analysis and, like, balancing and mechanics and writing to, I believe the number of designers we had, like, doubling. So I ended up being the design lead, which the way we handled that was me kind of serving as a pillar of communication from all of the other designers to the team leads and to the product owner and to the producers. So I was basically a big communication tower doing middle management. And honestly, I liked it for the most part. One thing I didn't like was there was this one choice I had to make with our game, which was basically we had a team member with a very specialized skill set that didn't line up beautifully with our game. So I was kind of challenged with this decision of making a choice that would be better for this teammate's career prospects or a choice that would be better for the game overall. And I ended up choosing what would be better for my team members' career prospects. I would rather release a less than stellar game than, prevent a team member from, like, really flourishing and getting the chance to show their stuff, especially in, like, their final project in college. Like, that's what you show to recruiters, right? And I remember physically, like, losing sleep, like, nights of sleep over that decision.
Well, it's a pretty tough decision because You're
Yeah,
not just dealing with the either successful or not successful game. You're dealing with a fucking college project, which means the
yeah,
career itself of the person you have under your wing. Oh boy.
yeah. Now, perhaps the fact that I stress about the well-being of each team member is what makes me, like, pretty good at leadership roles. But it also makes them so much more exhausting because
Oh, for sure.
I give so much of a shit about it.
You have to like
Yeah,
you're
you
literally.
have to.
Yeah, I mean, you're organizing people. At the end of the day, you have people under your control, and you have to care about every single thing. It's a stressful, but somehow that's one of the things I dream to do. Like, I dream to
Yeah.
be a director on a game, on a fighting game specifically. And
Oh,
woo,
nice.
yeah, I have the whole idea, but still need to
Are
make it.
you trying to go into the games industry?
Not yet. Like, I'm going really slow on that. Technically,
Okay.
I am aiming first for my professional career, like to have something to sustain myself. And I see the video game career maybe as a hobby, but still is a maybe. Like, I know
That's
basic
fair.
programming, I know some character design and all of that, but yeah, it's super basic.
Nice. Nice. Keep at it.
Oh,
Keep
for
at
sure.
it. The best thing I can say is just like fucking make something and put it out there. That's all it takes. People say, "Oh, you have to go to college. Oh, you have to, do this and get a Steam license." If you make a game, you are a game designer. Period.
Yep, basically.
That's it.
Yep, pretty much. Uji, welcome.
Hey, Yuji, we were talking about you.
Yeah, before the stream. I've entered. Okay. Before continuing, let me say thank you, Postmodern Podcast, Hot Dog Borg Water, Professor Patch, and Torakai for following.
Heck yeah.
Ah,
Good to see you all.
yeah. I know of a guy I've interviewed that went the career path with game design as a hobby. It's definitely possible. Yeah, I looked
Yeah.
into that too. Yeah, it's pretty much a hobby you can take as long as you take it as a hobby. Look, fucking Toby Fox. The game was technically his hobby. He was a modder for I think Mother 2. If I remember
He
correctly.
started by doing like Earthbound mods, was
Yeah.
what it was, right?
In my case, I had a little experience with the Mugen engine, so I know how that works a little bit. I needed some art experience, like I need to learn how to draw so I can
Yeah.
start making sprites. I really love the sprite artwork in some games, and I really want to make one of those. I know
Since
in
we're
other times will not.
since since you were into Mugen, did you ever get into the Rivals of Aether scene? Because I know that quickly became the Mugen of platform fighters when they added modded characters.
No, I need to buy that game. I'm really behind on some games that I need to try out. Like Rivals of
Fair.
Aether. I think Pogo Fight is one other that I need to play. That seems super fun.
What game?
I think it's Pogo Fight or Indie Pogo.
Indie Pogo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that game is pretty solid. Pretty solid.
There was another game that isn't released yet, and it's full of indie characters like the Speedrunner and Octodad, but I don't remember the
Oh,
name.
Raymakers.
Yeah, that one. That's another one I'm really
am-
hyped for.
So excited for Framemakers. It's gonna be so fucking cool because it's releasing with like full mod tools.
Ooh.
I think that's going into yeah. It's gonna be another Mugen situation. The whole game is built in this engine they made called FrayTools, and they have a whole external editor so you can modify every aspect of the game. So this means that people could be making their own characters, stages, game modes, character select screens. Like the sky is the friggin' limit. The whole game can be modded, and I am so excited to see that in a platform fighter with hype, fast-paced gameplay and a good soundtrack. It's gonna be so good.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
That sounds like a paradise. Woo!
Yeah, it's going into early access in 2 months.
Ooh. Need to see if I can grab it.
Yeah, maybe we'll throw down.
Oh, for sure. Oh, speaking of which, there is a game that I usually recommend if you want like a big multiplayer game, besides of course
Yeah?
Among Us and Crab Game and all of that, and that's Duck Game. I mentioned this on your stream, but now that you're here, I would like to recommend it a little bit more because
Okay.
it's a platformer game with ducks that has a modding scene for hats and some stages and all of that. And you can have custom weapons and all of that. And the objective of the game is simple: just kill the other ducks. Basically.
Yeah. I think I've seen gameplay of it. Maybe I'll have to pick it up if it goes on sale.
Yeah, it's a very cheap game, but if you got it on sale, it's way better. And now they had an update, I think a few months ago, that now allows for people to have 8-player lobbies.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a mod before, but now that is a full update. That's super cool.
I've gotta say, it's probably gonna be a while before I buy any new games that I haven't like predetermined. I'm getting this. Like Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. It's Monster Hunter. I'm getting it. Period.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, Sea of Stars. I'm getting it. Period. You cannot stop me. Same situation if there was like a Metroid game around the corner. But I'm so disgustingly backlogged that I can't justify buying more games anymore. I just can't. I need to catch up.
Yeah, same situation here. I have no money. Like I'm
Yeah.
broke. But
What do you have on your backlog?
Street Fighter 6. That's the thing I'm focused on. And now that the Persona collection is revealed, that is another thing on the docket for sure. And
Well, when I say backlog, I mean these are games that I bought but never played.
oh, you mean that kind of backlog? Okay.
Yeah.
I updated my backlog now. I have the DMC collection and DMC 5 on that. So I need to play those for sure. I need to finish Yakuza Kiwami and what else? Oh yeah, I need to replay Persona 4 now that the collection is announced. I have it installed it since February and never opened it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm playing through the Yakuza series myself right now. I'm on 5.
Ooh, hell yeah. You're
Yup.
close. You're close to finish.
I'm so close. It's 6 and then like a dragon and then I'm home free.
Mm-hmm.
But only because Judgment and Lost Judgment are not on PC.
Yep. Wait, isn't Lost Judgment on PC? I thought it was.
No, the dude they hired to play the main character is like some like famous actor or like idol or whatever in Japan. And apparently his agency has really dug in their heels about like a PC release for like whatever reason.
Oof.
So it sounds like they're just gonna go a different direction with whatever happens to the series.
Well, they can pull the Tanimura situation on that if they are really worried about it.
What do you mean?
Okay, so the original version of Yakuza 4 has an actor that passed away. And for the re-release, they changed the actor and the model itself to match that new actor for Tanimura.
Yeah, and they redubbed all of the lines too.
Exactly. They redubbed all of the lines, they remodeled the whole Tanimura stuff. Basically, they remade that section, all of that part of the game. And that's so sick. That's why I think it's one of my favorite games, technically. Just for that detail and the fact that it has the first appearance of Saejima. I really love the gameplay with Saejima, dude.
So wait, which Yakuza games have you played? Because you know so much about 4.
everything except for like a dragon.
Oh wow, okay. So you're just like replaying Yakuza Kiwami?
Same with Zero.
Okay.
In fact, with Zero, I completed and I have almost everything on that game.
Oh wow.
I need to break my fingers on the arcade games on Zero so I can complete it fully, but I'm not doing that. Besides the cat fights too, that's not going to happen.
I hate the cat fights. They're so bad. It's RNG.
At least on Kiwami, you can kinda expect your opponents, but not on
With the bug girl wrestling one.
Yeah, the Mesuking game. Shit. Also,
what?
Skitty Dragon, thanks for the follow. But
what is like your favorite mini games across the entire series?
Ooh, Virtual Fighter on Yakuza, the Song of Life. Yes.
It's not a mini game. That's a port of another game.
It counts. Well,
that's not allowed, is it?
Well, if it counts like a proper new mini game for the game, I think it will be either the karaoke or, even though I hate it, the disco.
I love the disco. Why do you hate it?
The gameplay on the disco is so uncomfortable on keyboard, and I cannot play it with joystick.
Okay, fair.
But
wait, what? You're playing on keyboard?
Most of the game, yes. There are some mini games I played with joystick because they allowed me to use the D-pad. My joystick has a really jiffy left analog stick, and it's
that'll do it.
It's a really pain in the ass, but yeah. Besides, playing with keyboard on the combat sections, it's pretty smooth. I have to admit, it's pretty good.
Yeah. What are the controls? It's like left mouse for light attack and then right mouse click for like heavy attacks, which is crazy to me.
And you control the camera with the mouse.
Huh.
That's the point.
I guess so.
Yeah. Pretty much. But yeah, the situation why I played every Yakuza game is because at the time they were offering a 3-month of the Game Pass, like the 3-month for $1, and I had to grab it. And since then, I knew also they revealed they will launch every single Yakuza game except for like a Dragon into the Game Pass just a few months later. So I grabbed that, I played through Yakuza 0, Kiwami 1 and 2 in less than a month, and then waited for the others. So
I need to like consider getting Game Pass at some point. It seems like a streamer's best friend with the amount of games, and a developer as well, with the amount of games that you can just pick up for like an hour or two and really like get the vibe of, and then just like put it down and go to your boss and go, okay, I understand what you're talking about when you say make it like Far Cry 3 or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. And in the case of a game developer, that's a good idea. But in the case of a consumer, which is usually the perspective I use, I go for the amount of games I want to play. In the case for the Yakuza series, I had at least 5 to 6 games there I wanted to play.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically that's the reason why I grabbed it. Then I tried a little bit of River City Girls that was there just in case. Maybe a little bit of Battle for the Grid, the Power Rangers fighting game. And besides that, I didn't get that much from the Game Pass. But now that it has a lot of stuff there, it's a pretty good recommendation.
Yeah, it honestly seems like the best deal in gaming, like, period.
Yeah, it's basically Netflix all over again, but with games, which is 10 times better.
That's rad. And unlike Netflix, they're not charging like $20 a month or whatever the heck Netflix charges now.
Yeah, pricing on different countries also, it's pretty difficult to pinpoint. Like,
oh yeah, that's true.
In my case, for example, I live on a country that makes every single game from a dollar perspective way cheaper. Like, I enter to the Epic Game Store, which has the currency on dollars, no matter the country you are, And I see a game like, for example, King of Fighters 15, which usually I think it's in between, I think $30 to $50, but here it's 20.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty weird situation, which it's pretty cool. Like, I have to admit.
I can't imagine like being the person whose job it is to figure out how much each game should cost in different parts of the world.
Yeah, me neither. That it's a marketing stuff that I don't want to know.
Yeah, that's like some hardcore like global financial knowledge type stuff. Like
Yeah, it's a pretty big gamble depending on the region you want to sell your game.
yeah, I'm not a very like as much as I love to crunch numbers, I'm not like a money-minded guy. When it comes to like risk and numbers, like
yeah, yeah, whoever does that job hates Australians. Ah.
Canadians also, they'll make like video games like $90 Canadian, and it's like, oh my god!
Yeah.
To make up for how cheap the food is up there.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Moving people in Canada might be more difficult than in the rest of the world then. Holy shit. What the hell?
Probably depends on like an individual situation.
Same here, it's dumb. Makes me sad. Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah. You've got to wonder, like, how they make that decision.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know. Canadians are weird sometimes. They make really good stuff, though. Really, really good stuff. I have to say.
Canadians?
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about, well, I have the perspective of a Warframe player, so I have to say that. I'm allowed. I'm obliged by contract.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Canada?
And no, I've never like left my country in any regard.
Okay.
I want to live like a little bit, like, at least for a vacation or maybe to move to another part of the world.
Or just to like travel and broaden horizons.
Yeah, I want to visit San Francisco one day.
Ooh, I definitely want to go there too.
Seems like a pretty good, like very colorful place. I really dig the aesthetic of San Francisco. Really love it.
What's like what are some other like dream destinations for you?
I don't know, really. I never wondered about other places besides, well, San Francisco. Maybe another place on Toronto, maybe in Canada. But
Ooh.
I'm not a big traveler type of guy. I don't like traveling at all. If I travel, it might be worth it to move there, or might be a worth vacation of a few weeks.
Yeah, I feel really similarly. I despise traveling. I hate going places. I like being places, you know?
Yeah. If I'm in my comfort place, I'm there, like, I'm safe.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, I would always get super motion sick as a kid.
Oh,
like really bad. Like, and even today, I get really bad anxiety around like cars, and like planes I'm cool with, but like cars, I just get like I don't know. I constantly think everyone's gonna hit me. I actually had my first anxiety attack ever while driving. Like, my vision went black, and I had to, like, stop in some empty parking lot.
Oh, what the... Black the Meteorite, thank you for the follow, and with that, we hit the milestone. Hell yeah!
Let's go! Affiliate arc, let's go! Let's go!
Now the viewership, that's the thing I'm worried about. But, yeah. I'm really close, and I have one achievement. Let's go!
Yeah, you'll get it for sure. You kidding me? Easy. You
Yeah.
got this.
Hell yeah.
Especially with how supportive people are in the community.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm certain that there are people in here who will go out of their way just to be here to make sure that you can hit those numbers.
I need to promote you up the ass. Yeah. If you can, please. But
Yeah, who would say no to that?
Yeah. I have to say though, the reason why I'm doing the VTubing stuff is because, well, I'm from the Spanish community. Like, I had my experience with them, and let me tell you, that's a war zone I don't want to enter anymore.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's, you know how usually you see drama every now and then on the English community, not just VTuber, but also like big YouTuber kind of drama.
Yeah, of course. Is it like really all over the place in the Spanish community?
Imagine that every single day, every single hour of the week.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you cannot have one single bit of like recognition or cloud of community without getting any trash on your side. Like, someone will dig up something, someone will call you out about something, maybe you are guilty or not. And the thing that always bothers me is because some people stick with YouTube even though the Spanish community doesn't get any recognitions from YouTube at all. Like, yeah, people on English bitch about YouTube, but on the Spanish community it's even worse because we don't even get recognition or support.
Yeah. I've heard that live streaming is huge in Spanish-speaking countries also. Like, I know some of the largest streamers, like, on the entire platform.
Yeah, I'm from Spanish.
Yeah.
I'm from places from Spain, maybe Mexico, but that's because if you really think about it...
Yeah.
If you really think about it, 90% of the continent speaks Spanish. And then you count Spain, which is another Spanish-speaking country. With that, you have the numbers to at least double the English-speaking sphere. So that's that's the reason why you have streamers that are way bigger compared to other big streamers on English. For example, Iron Mouse and Nimu. Nimu is bigger because she focuses on the Spanish side of the community. And that's huge.
I've never heard of Nemo.
Well, now you know.
Now I know.
Yeah, she's another VTuber that uses a 3D model most of the time, but she's from Argentina, funny enough. She focuses on Spanish content and all of that. And yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, that's the reason why most games usually go for localization on Spanish too, because it's a really big audience. Some games get to double the dub on Spanish, like for the Spanish version of the Spain version of Spanish, and then the Latin American version of Spanish, because those things are two completely different.
Yeah, which makes sense because it's completely different continents.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah. What else? What else I have on the docket? Oh yeah. Have you ever played any Pokemon games? I see some stuff on the... Of
course, who hasn't? It's it's Pokemon.
Yeah, well, what are your experience with Pokemon then?
So, I first got into Pokemon when I was like 6 in like first grade. I think someone was playing Pokemon Emerald, and this was like right after I'd first discovered gaming. And I was like, I need this.
Ooh.
So it was one of the first games I ever owned, and I named myself like Scarab in all caps because I really liked Scarab beetles. And I still like beetles a lot now. And they actually did a tournament for the Pokemon 10th anniversary. It was the first tournament that was like ever official for the video game, I believe. And I participated in that when I was like 7.
Cool.
And to give you a sense of my experience, so I was up against a kid who was like twice my age, round 1, and my team was a level 100 Rayquaza, because everything, they didn't, like, cap your levels. It was like whatever you had trained them to was what they would be at. So I had a level 100 Rayquaza. He was the only level 100 Pokemon I owned. I had a level 93 Groudon, and then I had like a level 57 Sceptile. So my team was not great.
But you have the Rayquaza though. What the hell? Level 100 at that.
Yeah, but the kid I was up against was twice my age, twice my height, and his team was all level 100s. He had a Mewtwo, a Suicune, and a Lugia.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, like, fuck you, buddy. John,
hell?
legendary spam, suck my ball.
Thank you for the follow tag.
So, I lost round 1, but I remember everyone crowded around the setup I was playing on, because it was 64 people across all of the states of the US.
Cool.
So all of the other round 1 matches had finished up, and I actually stalled him super late. Like, the match went on for like 15-20 minutes.
What?
And the trick was I just spammed fly, and I don't know. He just didn't have any better way to deal with it and work around it.
What the hell? Well, that's a stalling, yeah, pretty much. Well, as far as my experience with Pokemon is, just basically I played through Crystal on my phone, which is funny. On an old Nokia 9-number phone.
Via, like, emulation?
Yeah.
Nice.
That was fun. And then I tried out years later on the Heart Gold Soul Silver version on an emulator too. And I had my
Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Yeah. I love that game. I don't know what it is, even though I know the bullshit that is grinding on that game. I love it. That was my first time beating the Elite Four, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
I had to do so much bullshit to evolve one Pokemon, and I'm feel proud about it. Fuck
yeah? Well, what's the story there?
Mamoswine. I needed a really tanky Pokemon and an Ice type so I can counter one of the Elite Four. So I ended up grinding a lot to get a Mamoswine on a daycare. I trying to get one with hidden power so it can evolve on as a Mamoswine was hard because the level cap of the Pokemons on the last area was at thing 15. And my Pokemons needed to be at least level 40.
Oh, wow.
The grind was so much. But I ended up getting the Mamoswine and literally cleaned the floor with the whole Elite Four.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of complaints about, like, the level pacing in, like, the Johto games. I might have to go back and revisit it just because it's been such a long time since I played it, but I can't say I'd want to pour all the hours into a game I've already played.
Okay, Uji says here, Pokemon was a huge part of my life until X and Y. After X and Y, like, I just kind of stopped playing. Sun and Moon was too hard to get in. Yeah, to get into for me. Yeah. I can get
Sun
that.
and Moon was the last Pokemon game I played. I had really high hopes for it, and it ended up being okay. Like, I was like, finally, the series is doing something different. It's not just the gym leaders. And then it kind of just was the gym leaders, but somehow... Yeah, it wasn't super interesting either.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then, you know, I was freshman year of college, so I'm, like, really focused on my studies, and Ultra Sun and Moon came out, and it looked like they barely changed anything except for adding some extra crap at the end, and I was just like, you know what? I don't need it. I can do without. And then Sword and Shield came around, and I looked at the shit storm that swirled around that, and I went, you know what? I'm just gonna pass. I'm good. See ya.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I didn't, like, buy the games in the first place because I saw those stories and I wasn't interested. Some of the
Yeah.
Pokemon designs are cool though, I have to admit. But besides that, nah. And
Always a
the
big fan of the creature designs.
cautiously optimistic about Scarlet and Violet. At least they get this paint setting pretty good. I have to admit that. I like the
Yeah.
ambience, yeah.
I'm just gonna stick to my guns of I'm gonna hold off unless I hear really good things about it. Like, I think that's just where I'm at in the series, that I just can't justify spending $60 like every single year for the same thing again.
True. Like it's usually up to the customer to just save the money. In this case, I consider Pokemon sometimes a scam because of the double editions and all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish sometimes I wish they did what they did with Pokemon. I think it was Diamond and Pearl and released Platinum Edition with all the content in just one game.
Yeah.
Like a re-release a few years later, that will be perfect for people that wasn't like convinced with the original vanilla game.
Yeah, I will say, I'm more okay with Pokemon having multiple versions than what they did with Fire Emblem Fates.
Oh,
It's such a landslide. Like, it's not even close. Like, Fire Emblem Fates, they really just took a game and sliced it up and said, oh, you want actual choice? Pay multiple times the price of the original game.
what the hell?
Yeah, and the worst part was the story kind of sucked.
Oh,
The story for Fates kind of sucked. There, I said it.
Damn it.
I know, it just wasn't good. I had to do it to him. I had to do it to him. But it's true. It's true.
Oh man, you know, speaking of games that sold the story apart and DLCs, have you heard of Azura's Wrath?
Yes, yeah, I have heard of Ashura's Wrath.
I love and hate that game so much.
Yeah, that's like peak PS3 era, like deep in quick time events out the wazoo.
Yeah, I will call it the best anime of the PS3 era at this point. It was pure quick time event, but there was it good. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of PS3 era, what do you think of the resurgence for Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance at this point? I think it's like the second coming of
I've never
Rise
played it. I really want to play it though. I really, really, really want to play it.
You need to. If you play the game, I recommend you going with the PS3 version because I don't know if it's true or not, but the PC version doesn't have the DLC, and the DLC is pretty important.
Huh. That can't be right. There's no way they would do that. That is such a missed opportunity for them to capitalize on a port. I'm looking that up right now because I'm like, just gut instinct, there's no way that's correct.
If there is the DLC, might be on the base game on Steam, but I played through the game, I played through the menus, and I didn't find any semblance of this Jetstream Sam and the Blade Wolf DLCs. Not a single bit. And
yeah, I'm not seeing the DLC listed on the Steam page.
Yeah. It's super weird. I don't know why. It might be on the game, but I might not check good enough. I don't know.
The Steam reviews are crazy, wow.
Yeah?
All of it's like, you can kill a politician, 11 out of 10. I think Jetstream Sam has a fat ass. I love Sam, I wish Brazilian people were real. The most difficult enemy is the camera. Lots of people just doing the song lyrics in all caps.
That's pretty much it, yeah. That's Metal Gear Rising.
Don't dip your balls in sulfuric acid. 0 out of 10.
What the fuck is that review?
There's like multiple ones about dipping your balls in a fryer or dipping your balls in acid. There's a lot about just dipping your balls in a harmful substance.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, I can't say I know what that's about.
Me neither. I have no idea what that is. Too much water, maybe.
Yeah, 7.8 out of 10. Too much water.
Mm-hmm.
Too much water, you guys.
What the hell? That reminds me, yesterday on a server I moderate for, a guy just popped up in the middle of the night, like it was, I think, 12 a.m. in the morning. And the guy was just posting, how does it say? Go touch some grass, and then like 1,000 images of just a plain field of grass. It was like, what the hell, dude?
That's so excessive.
Yeah, that's so weird. In the middle of the night, posting that and that many images just to clear a
Yeah,
point.
well, everyone's asleep too. That's messed up.
Yeah, I banned him like instantly. What the hell? But yeah, Metal Gear Revengeance, my recommendation for sure. That's a really, really good game.
I really want to play it because it seems like just like a game where just dumb, goofy things happen. And like, I really want more things to be like that. Like, Stranger of Paradise seemed like it came close to hitting that level of like unapologetically edgy. In the best way. In the best way.
You know, there's some people comparing Stranger of Paradise with Metal Gear Rising. Like,
oh yeah,
Metal Gear, Stranger of Paradise, it's trying so hard to be Metal Gear Rising, but it fails the same way in the same pores. Like, what the hell?
It's honestly hard to tell if Stranger of Paradise was like an active choice to be like that, or if they were just really out of touch. And like, that's kind of what makes it magical. I wish that like they really knew what they were doing with it and leaned super hard into it, because I think it would have been so much funnier.
Yeah, true. I mean, it has its stupid moments, but it tries so hard to make us try to take it seriously. It's so funny.
Yeah, it like ran out of like meme culture, like it exited meme culture relatively quick after release, which is like what I'm kind of saddened by.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, if you have the time, I would recommend you take a listen to the songs of Metal Gear Rising, because those are pretty important for the character development.
Oh, I promise you, it's impossible to be an internet denizen and not know.
Oh, true.
You know, standing here, I realize. Guy punching really fast the song? I'm there.
Yeah, the funny thing is, the scene doesn't match this song because that song comes later. But yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty political heavy game though, so be warned.
Oh, I'm well aware. I am well aware. It's stuff I agree with. War bad. Yeah, I'm with ya.
The memes.
Taking other countries' oil. Bad. I'm with ya. I see nothing objectionable here.
Yeah.
Some politicians are evil. Yeah, I agree. Okay.
I mean, some? Some? I don't know.
Some, a lot. Definitely a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Well, yeah. Also, I'm hearing some Splatoon songs on here. Do you play the game a little bit?
You're hearing Splatoon sounds?
It's Splatoon, the soundtrack, I mean. Like, do you know the game? Did you play it?
I've played it, but I never really got, like, into it. I like the soundtrack a lot. I love Calamari Incantation. What a song. Yeah. I think that's gotta be one of the hypest songs in gaming.
Oh, for fucking sure. Like, that's the theme of the entire series at this point. It's it's a situation with some games that are defined by the music they have. they have a theme song for the entire series just based on a character or a moment of one game. And that's so sick. Let's say, for example, I bring up SNK and the soundtrack they have. If you just hear, I think it's called Arashino's Saxophone, you can clearly know that's an SNK type of song, like defines the company at some points. But yeah. But yeah. Did you play fighting games or just into just other type of games?
I would say I am a casual enjoyer of fighting games. I like a little bit of friendly competition, but I've never been like very serious about like competitive gaming, because a big thing for me, right, is if I'm good at a video game, I like to win. The thing about fighting games is no matter how good you get, if the matchmaking is good, you're always gonna win half of the time.
It's a 50-50. You can get washed out or you can win. Basically.
Yeah. And I guess that just doesn't make me feel motivated to really like lab out characters and learn combos. Like I'll do some simple stuff. I'm more into platform fighters because I think like I grew up playing them more, and it's just a little bit more intuitive to just like string together combos in like when you have to worry about like height also. It becomes more about positioning than actual like input combinations.
True. I mean, in my case, it's technically the exact opposite because I grew up basically mashing buttons on a video game. But yeah, when you get the hang of it, of a fighting game, in my case, I like loving more than playing online. If I'm being honest, because I know, getting that situation to make that specific combo I'm doing on the lab is so difficult. It's almost impossible to make. I mean, I might make just half of it or just 1/3 of the combo, but I really want to do just the full combo in a training mode. That for sure. Learning that as a muscle memory part, oh, that feels so good. Even better than winning a fucking online match, at least for me. I had my competitive experience, but it's so little I barely know about competitive gaming in that regard.
I think like the closest equivalent to that feeling you're describing that I get is when I like clear a screen in like Celeste on like one of the really hard maps.
Yeah, that feels good. Clearing a super hard challenge on a platformer, that's so good.
That's the good stuff there.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of like the Dark Souls stuff with my channel also. So I think I'm like one stream away from beating Dark Souls 3. Ooh. And just the boss fights feel so good. It's by far the best part of the game is the boss fights.
Yeah. You're so good at difficult games.
It's because I like difficult games. I play games to be challenged.
Yeah. Okay. Did you play the Neo games? Neo 1 and 2?
No, I did not. No. Okay. I'm like super new to like Souls-likes as a genre. I was given a copy of Neo for the PS4, so I could hook that up to my capture card, but I've never played it.
The first Neo, it's kind of basic. At least from my perspective, that was technically one of the first Souls-like I played, and it feels linear, but you feel really hard the progression of your character, like the weapons you keep it, and the level ups and all of that you get are pretty substantial. And every time you die, you are the same but a little bit stronger. Every time you die, they're the same, basically. Just rinse and repeat.
I love like really good progression systems. I think that has got to be one of the strongest motivators for me to want to engage with a video game. is this sense of like progression and scale.
Linear for me is a rarely downside. It's for me rarely. I'm having a hard time reading that. I'm sorry. Linear for me, for me is rarely a downside. I like knowing where I'm going. Yeah, usually that's pretty straightforward. If you have a difficult game, but you have just a straightforward path, that's pretty much it. Yeah, maybe a little branching here and there, but that's not a downside depending on what you like on a game.
Yeah, different people engage with video games in completely different ways. And like I kind of want like I've really been thinking about this, but I want to do like a Ludology 101 video series just talking about like basic ludology on YouTube and like making it explainable and presentable.
Oh hell yeah. I'll be down for that.
Yeah. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of what else I was about to say? Oh yeah, one aspect that I consider a little bit overwhelming on some games is the open world environment. I sometimes think they go a little bit too far with that.
I 100% agree.
For example, one of the games I usually get recommended but I don't like at all is The Witcher 3. I mean, the game is like top-notch game in what history or what plot it has, I don't care. But the part that it throws me off so much is how big the map is. Like, why does it need to be so goddamn long of a map?
Yeah. I think that's my beef with a lot of open world games is that they often feel like checklists. Like you see this a lot with a lot of the Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah.
Is like climb this building, get these birds, jump in these stacks, get these targets, and it's kind of the same task repeated a lot of times. And you see that in basically every single open world game. Like even Breath of the Wild is climb the tower, get the shrine, do the divine beast, find the Korok. I think that Breath of the Wild is a little bit better about it just because each shrine has a unique puzzle, each tower you have to climb differently, each Korok is inconsequential in the big picture, and the divine beasts are unique handcrafted dungeons.
Yeah, Uji has a really good point here. Like they're big but empty most of the time. But in Breath of the Wild, you have a lot of stuff, not just the shrines and the rocks and all of that. You find stuff even for complete accident or just in the middle of the road, which is super cool. That's a problem I have with like if you have a really big open world, but the only thing I do is just going from point A to point B, going back and forth doing missions.
Yeah,
I'm not buying that shit.
I would disagree with what Uji just said. I would not say Breath of the Wild is an empty world, not by far. No matter where you're standing, there is constantly something interesting in your line of sight. Like I will personally sit down with you and go, here's why the level design is brilliant. Like, if you want an empty world, go pick up Final Fantasy 15.
Go pick up The Witcher 3. No, not The Witcher 3, Fallout. Fallout 4 and Fallout 3. Specifically Fallout 3.
Are those worlds just nothing to do?
At least on Fallout 3, it feels like it should be a desert.
Okay.
Desert.
I've never played any of the Fallout games. Bethesda games, don't
click.
They don't.
Yeah.
They do not click. I really tried getting into Skyrim. Not once has it clicked ever.
Same.
Maybe like the PS, the PC version. If
you mod it, maybe.
Maybe. I think it is just too much to do and too many ways to just mess up.
Yeah. Minecraft, in that case, it's, well, at least for me, I cannot play Minecraft because I get really sick after a few minutes, but in case of Minecraft, the thing of it is playing it in co-op with friends, maybe with mods. That's the thing of Minecraft. If you play it alone, that will last you as depending on how much you like playing alone. If you're a streamer, maybe you're not playing alone that much because you have your chat, but still, though, it's empty. You have stuff to do, but still. What's the motivation to play Minecraft unless you have friends and mods to play with?
For me, I'm not motivated to play Minecraft because it doesn't have, like, an engagement system.
Yeah.
Or not an engagement system, a progression system that really, like, clicks with me. Like, the progression system in Minecraft is just getting better ores and items and, like, a base, I suppose, right? Whereas what I want is to level up and be physically stronger. That is what will make me stick with a game, is just that grind.
Oh, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, open world games in general can be well made. Like, yeah, you may have a game like GTA 5 has a really big map, but it's not that big of a map if you if you go travel a little bit for Los Santos. And to be completely honest, I think it's even smaller compared to GTA San Andreas. And even those feels a little bit empty because the only thing you have to do is the missions, like going from point A to point B throughout the cities.
Yeah. Perhaps that's why we like Yakuza so much, is because it's the complete inversion of what, like, a lot of open world games suffer from. It is this incredibly small space where you can openly explore that is super densely packed with content.
It's basically that, yeah, you have a small space, but with jam-packed with stuff to do. Not just the main missions, you have sub-stories, you have mini-games, you have completionist stuff, you have a list of stuff to complete. That's super good. And in some cases, you have not just one, but maybe up to 4 different maps to explore.
Yeah. Yeah, because Yakuza 5 is such, like, a city-hopping game.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't love the layout of the cities. They're a little cumbersome to navigate without a sprint button.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because the taxis are not placed near any major intersections, and I'm just like, why do you hate me?
Yeah, pretty much. God
yeah.
damn it. That's why I like watching you play. Yeah, pretty much.
I actually got into the series specifically for the sake of playing Like a Dragon, because I love JRPGs, and I especially love JRPGs that utilize a job system, which Yakuza Like a Dragon does. So basically my entire time with this series has been building up to just playing that game, and I'm so fucking hype. I'm so hype.
Yeah. Also, fair warning, prepare for seeing some stuff that it might make you cry on Yakuza 6. Just to say, that Yakuza 6 is a special game for reasons that bring back stuff from the other, like sub-storylines, like the Pocket Circuit Fighter and maybe no, not the Avatarian. The Avatarian is just in Kiwami too. But yeah, the thing is, brings back some sub-stories that do not expect it when they throw it at you. It's so good.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just, like, lost in thought about how excited I am to play Like a Dragon.
Yeah, I understand that. I want to play it too. It's the last game I need to play besides the OG.
Oh, you haven't?
Yeah, I don't have the game. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it.
To go on sale.
Yeah, basically. And to have the money at that time, because it's hard to, like, manage the money because it's so limited for me. I barely buy games.
That's fair. That's why I was so into JRPGs as a kid, is because we wouldn't get video games super often, but I would burn through them. So I would grow up and gravitate towards games that could last me just an extended period of time, with the knowledge that it would be a couple months before I could get another.
Yeah, basically it gives you a reason to play through one extensive games. And JRPGs in general are usually super long. They're jam-packed of stuff to do, even the older ones.
I played Nier Automata when it first came out.
Ooh.
And unfortunately, my main takeaway was, oh darn, it's only 33 hours for the true ending.
Well, yeah, true. Don't play Crash 4. Don't play Crash 4, unless you like repeating stuff over and over again.
Yeah.
Oh.
I need to replay Nier Automata now that I actually am so much more experienced with game development.
Oh, for sure. Also, that reminds me, in one previous episode with another guest, we talked about the some of the game developers suffer from some stuff called I don't know how it's called, but it's described as when you see something on a game, you cannot help it but see it, you can help it but think about how that thing is made. For example, on one show I watched previously called the Harada's Bar, he invited Masahiro Sakurai, and he told the experience of playing through Total Frame, and he watched a scene of a bunch of cockroach over a corpse. He couldn't help but think, oh man, that amount of cockroach and that amount of animation might took a while and so much resources to make.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a term for what you're describing, right? Of I keep analyzing this.
Overanalyzing stuff. Yeah, I don't know if there's a proper term for that, but man, it feels so weird knowing that now.
I definitely suffer from that also. I think my ability to just turn my brain off and enjoy games what just has waned and waned and waned, and now I'm just constantly actively thinking, oh cool level design, oh this is alright.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not game developer, and I'm even thinking about, oh man, animating that, making those 3D models look that good, or making this level to look as pretty as it is. It might
that's
took a while.
That's good stuff to think about. Honestly, you should think about that.
It made me gush about games even better sometimes. Oh man, this game looks so good. Or the environment of this game is so clean. That's part of the reason why I loved Watch Dogs 2.
Really?
They sold me the idea of visiting San Francisco. They sold me that idea just because of the concept art and the game itself looks so pretty. You compare that to Watch Dogs 1? Watch Dogs 1 looks basically like GTA 4 compared to GTA 5.
Okay.
You got a gray, plain city, but then you have this colorful, out of nowhere compared to out of the picture compared to the previous game, and it looks so good.
I think that's what's really grabbing me about everything they've shown for Street Fighter 6.
Oh yeah,
is just how good everything looks. It looks so good. It actually has style and identity
and colors,
theming and color. Yeah, it's such a colorful game.
I love it.
It's beautiful. Yeah. It's beautiful. The animations are incredible. The character design is some of the best the series has ever seen. It's awesome. I'm so excited for Street Fighter 6. I don't even play fighting games. I just want to see it in motion. Just look at it, listen to the music. Enjoy it as a multi-sensory experience.
Oh, me too. I cannot wait for that game, dude. In my case, it's technically even more weird because I used to be hyped for Street Fighter 5 back in today, and I was making content about it. And just imagine the disappointment I got after receiving the game and all of that.
Yeah.
Oh, that hit just so bad.
Yeah. Because 5 was really lacking
Content.
single player at launch was the main issue with it, right?
Content in general was just a game with, I think, 18 characters? Maybe less?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, basically. It was a pretty empty game. And the rumors were saying at the beginning, before Street Fighter V launch, that some of the characters will be even just pre-purchased bonuses, and that was rough. Like, they thought Cammy and Birdie will be good pre-bonus, pre-order bonuses as characters.
Yeah, Birdie! Everyone's favorite Street Fighter character. I love Birdie!
Yeah, sure. What the hell? At least they nailed pretty good with Rashid, though. He ended up being one of the best
I
characters in that game.
love Rashid.
Me too. The fact that he's just a parody of like content creators in general, and he's like in tech enthusiast, that makes it so cool. Okay, let me read here.
Have you seen the leaked character designs for Street Fighter 6?
Yeah, pretty much. That's on all over the internet.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to miss, huh?
Yeah, but I'm not believing some stuff like the character design, yeah, because they confirmed that with Guile. But the other part about Ken and all of that, I'm not buying that shit up. Unless I'm seeing it on motion.
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay, which it says here, I think often about 3D modeling even when I'm looking at 2D art reference, like whenever I see a character with the jacket of that shoulder, I'm like, Nandi, a bunch of zooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I've been seeing that A-posing is like the future.
Yeah. Who needs
that
T-posing
A-posing is a lot more natural of a default stance for a model to make. And it allows you to actually model how the clothes should mold to the shoulders. And the only reason we've ever really done T-posing is just because it's easier for the programmers. Okay, maybe let's make it a little harder for the programmers, pay them some more money, hire some finer talent, and really let the art go ham.
Yeah, basically. I think it's because of the gravity and physics of the game, so the clothing can have a really smooth effect with the moving clothes and all that. You can see that on pretty heavy graphic games like the Batman's games, or even The Witcher, I think, has some of that.
Huh.
I think. I'm not very sure about that. But yeah.
That's fair, that's fair.
Rigging a model for a game usually takes a lot of time, and even though if you count the modeling itself of the characters and all that,
yeah,
I think every
rigging isn't terrible. I've done it myself. It's pretty easy to wrap your head around once you, especially like once you really get used to it.
Yeah, I think every game dev person should be paid more. No cap, says Sergi. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And if you take into
I will
consideration
say not the CEOs.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe not every, but 99%.
Yeah, we don't want McNamara's here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's crazy to me that Activision will have QA testers getting paid like $7.50, like minimum wage, and their CEO would make $150 million a year, whereas the QA testers are like crunching and, working unreasonable hours for unreasonable pay, minimal benefits. Like, it's no wonder that the QA team at Raven unionized.
Oof. I mean,
yeah,
it's a pretty justified situation there. What the hell is that payment for? What the hell?
What? How does the CEO make $150 million a year?
And you're not paying well your employees? What the hell?
Yeah, it's so messed up. It's so messed up.
I'm still surprised. Some companies that are at least publicly known that they do crunch have no people to protest about it. Like, none of the employees have protested about it. I'm really surprised about that. Even though the knowledge about the McNamara situation and all of that is public, that thing should inspire people to just fight for their fucking rights about the payments and all of that. This happened on the movie industry, god damn it. Why not on the gaming industry? This is even bigger.
I think that we are going to see mass unionization in the games industry this decade.
I mean, if I have to wait years for a game,
the dominoes are already falling, you know?
Yeah. If I have to wait years for a game to be made just because they are rebelling and getting the pay they deserve, I'll take it. I'll wait no matter what time it is. Holy shit.
Yeah.
They deserve way better.
I mean, hey, games take years either way.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's pretty good, That's good, honestly. Yeah. Oh boy. How much time we are? We're an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. I can keep up. I love this.
Good. I can probably go for another half hour, and then I'm probably gonna run out of steam. I didn't sleep well last night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, what else? Any indie games you have your eye out for?
So many indie games. Oh my god.
Let's go. Fire up.
Okay. So rapid fire. Hylix 2. Incredible fucking game. When someone says video games aren't art, there's a couple of games that I would show them for various reasons to disprove them. I would show them games like Lisa and Celeste to show the level of storytelling and craftsmanship. And then, on the flip side, I would show Hylix 2, which is pure multi-sensory experience. I'll type it out in chat so you can Google it and tell me your immediate impression. But Hylix is a game franchise that is made by claymation artist Mason Lindroth. So every single sprite, background, environment within the game is a photograph of an actual clay model, and it is animated in claymation, and this gives it this otherworldly, warping, contorted, everything can dissolve and fold in on itself because everything is malleable.
And it's an RPG.
Yes, it is an RPG. The gameplay is actually really good, in that something I would really praise Hylix 2's gameplay for is that it's actually an RPG where consumable items are a massive part of your strategy.
Ooh.
Like a really, really big part of your strategy is the use of your consumables, and I really enjoyed that because it's so different from how other games are balanced.
Wow.
Because Hylix 2 doesn't do random encounters. It's you beat that guy and then they're gone forever.
Oh,
so
kind of like Undertale, like you have your genocide route and all of that.
Well, I'd say more like Lisa, because there's only one route. It's just that each enemy is like a semi-unique encounter, and then you kill them, you get the stat boost directly. There's no EXP. When you kill enemies, it just straight up increases your stats. Just that's it. It increases your maximum health. So they know exactly how many encounters you could theoretically get into, and the placement of items that they drip feed you is balanced around that, and it's done very well in execution. But it's just this like super trippy, like prog rock Pink Floyd album cover-esque like experience that I love. I think about it constantly. It lingers in my mind always. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful game.
Well, yeah, you're right. This looks so good. Holy shit. But to be completely honest, I'm not a big fan of art in general, like traditional knowing what games are art type of guy, because I know what games are art and I consider them pretty good. But they are not my type of game. Like, I prefer something with more either action or, in case of something like more story focus, depending on the game.
Okay,
but,
so you're in it for action and story.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, that's good to know.
Like my favorite games usually are either, for example, Persona 4. I consider that one of the best games ever made, at least for me. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. It's one of the best action games ever made. Like Asura's Wrath could be even the best QuickTime event game ever made. Like, I consider those my favorites, and I love them to death.
Going back to indie games, now that I know the kind of games that you're looking for, have you heard of Cruelty Squad?
Cruelty Squad. No, let me search for it.
That is certainly a sensory overload. Tell me what you think when you look at it.
Oh. Yeah, this seems like the kind of game that could give me a headache. Holy shit.
Yeah. What? So, Cruelty Squad, if you look at Steam, it has overwhelmingly positive reviews. It's like 98% positive, despite the fact that it burns your eyes and ears.
Yeah.
My understanding, I haven't played it yet, is that it thrives on godlike gunplay, an incredible amount of approaches that each level gives you, because it's basically like Hitman, but Hotline Miami. Like, you're going down, gunning down hordes of people with one specific target in mind.
Yeah.
And it's just about, like, you know, super duper ultra late stage capitalism where lives are expendable but money is not.
Oof.
And what a horrible, awful world it is that you will install, you know, waste disposal chutes into your body to modify it so you can sneeze out of your ankles, to double jump and get extra intestines installed in your body to use as a grappling hook that you shoot out of your torso. And it's just this awful... I've heard the term biopunk.
It kind of makes sense. Technically, it's playing with a lot of, like, not just stroboscopic effects, but also with cameras and all of that. Like, the FOV of this game, it's something that can get me a headache pretty fast.
Yeah.
Same with the color palettes. They are so vibrant and so different of each other.
And the soundtrack is just as pain-inducing.
Oh, well, I'm not a masochist, damn it. This game sounds good, but what the hell? Ooh.
I mean, the gameplay is incredible.
Yeah. I also consider Ultra Kill pretty much the same game, but it's not that visually painful as it is. And it has
Ultra Kill?
Yeah. Hold on, let me search for you. So
that's no, I've seen footage of it. It's by those guys who are like out here doing New Blood Interactive. Yeah, they're doing a lot of like modern takes on like old school high speed boomer shooters.
Yeah.
Which I really like that, like, we're getting a resurgence of that. That makes me really, really, really happy.
I woke up the professor with that. Ultra Kill, baby.
Let's woke up the professor?
Yeah, Professor Patch.
Oh, Professor Patch, yeah. Hi, Patch.
How's it going, dude? But yeah, Ultra Kill is basically Quake, but as a single-player game, and it looks so sick. I had a friend of mine playing that and told me, you have to try this. Even though I can get motion sickness, I'm really sucker for platformers. I really do. Like, Crash Bandicoot is one of my favorite platformers ever made.
Have you played Celeste?
I have it, and I need to play it. Yeah.
You need to play it.
Yeah, I need to. I always keep getting busy and busy every single time I want to jump into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have the Messenger too. I want to replay that and play the
DLC. I love the Messenger!
Oh
my god!
The soundtrack of that game is so good. Yeah,
the soundtrack is just so good.
Oh, the coincidence. Just the soundtrack started. Let's go.
Yeah. So I mentioned earlier, one of the games I'm the most excited for, Sea of Stars, is actually by the team that did the Messenger.
Yeah. Wait, wasn't like... No, wasn't called Star Solaris? No, that was another game. Yeah.
You might be thinking of something else.
Yeah, I might be thinking, because there was a game with 2 characters that was made for the people of the Messenger. I might be that game you mentioned.
Sea of Stars is their next project. It's like super. It has the most gorgeous pixel art I've ever seen.
Yeah, yeah. But the Messenger 2 has that too. I have to admit, the environments, the music, everything on the Messenger looks so pretty. Whew.
Well, I think Sea of Stars kicks it up a notch because it has shadows and like this really gorgeous lighting system with day and night. Like a lot of games have tried to do like this HD 2D pixel art like hybrid. Where they take like pixel art games in a 3D environment and slap like really pretty shaders on it, and that really started with like Octopath
Traveler, yeah.
And I think Octopath was way too washed out to a point where it made navigation almost cumbersome and like hard to look at. And I think that like Sea of Stars is like the perfection of that art direction.
The balancing of that is, yeah, you're right. Ooh.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, an indie game I would like to recommend you is Speed Brawl. Hold on, let me search, because I don't remember the people who made this game, but those people are working now with Riot Games to make a Convergence, an Echo story, basically. Hold on.
Brawl. I must have spelled it wrong, but I did find Ball Pit Simulator, a $5 game. Oh boy.
Let me put it on the chat. Speed Brawl.
Oh, Speed Brawl. Okay.
This game is made by Double Stallion Games. This is technically, if I remember correctly, their 5th game? No, the 3rd. Basically, this is it's kind of like a platformer fighter, but for speedrunners. It's so good. Like, you have to avoid traps, kill enemies in a certain amount of time, and reach the end goal. And you have competitive on that too, if you want. It's a really, really interesting game.
I'll have to look into it.
Yeah. You have my recommendation there. I've tried it like alone at first try, and then I invited a friend to play it because it was free on Epic Games one time, and I had to grab it. I tried it and I had my good time. It's a short game, but if you want to play with someone, that's a pretty good way.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Then what else I have on the docket here? Oh, there is a game I would recommend you just listen to the soundtrack for the first. And that is Hoover. Hold on, let me spell it for you. Hoover. There. That's technically at least the developers mentioned that is kind of a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio, but it kinda isn't.
Okay.
It has the art style and the kind of the setting, but it's a pretty unique game on his own way. The soundtrack is pretty good. I will recommend you to give it a listen. It's pretty good.
Oh god, I've seen this game as an example of bad UI. That's so funny.
Yeah, it has the worst UI you can expect, but it's a fun game. Mechanically speaking.
That's good at least.
I love the jump system they have, the grind, the colors in some areas.
Yeah, the movement looks awesome. As long as it has like good level design, honestly, that's all you really need.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's kind of similar to Yakuza. You have a small, but at the same time a little bit big open world. You need to explore. You have stuff to collect. You have missions to complete. And
it's 80% off right now.
Yeah, grab it if you can. It's pretty good. I have 100% on that game, and I had a lot of fun. But yeah, what else besides those two I have on the docket?
I'm definitely excited for Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Oh, me too. I really want to try.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Yeah. Well, this. What else? I don't have any pretty much. For indie games at least, I don't have pretty much. Maybe Skullgirls, but that's a pretty heavy learning game.
Yeah, Skullgirls is really like deep into the fighting game enthusiast like territory. Like I feel like there's like a spectrum of like fighting games from like accessible to newcomers to like some serious fighting game enthusiast type shit.
Yeah, that will be pretty much in the middle between neutral and enthusiast. Yeah,
it has a good tutorial, I'll say.
Yeah. Very much to learn the basics, maybe some combos. Yeah, it works. If you want like a really beginner-friendly game, I don't have that much to recommend though. Maybe Budokai Tenkaichi 3, but that's just a button masher.
I think that like most fighting games really struggle to like make themselves easy to just pick up and learn and play and like make themselves accessible. And I know that apparently Guilty Gear Strive did like a decent job, like a pretty good job, right? But Guilty Gear is a very mechanically intense, like high risk game that doesn't end up making it beginner friendly. So seeing some of the features that were in that, like moves having descriptions on like use cases and like, you know, here's how to use it, when to use it, why it might be useful, how it helps complete your kit, and just having that be like a core part of your move list. They're doing that in Street Fighter 6, and hopefully that can become like a standard for the genre.
Another game I would recommend if you want to like start easy and then try a little bit harder, it's Killer Instinct. The 2013 version of Killer Instinct has a mode that lets you basically automate combos depending on the button you press. You don't need to use motion inputs most of the time, and you can do pretty good with that. They let you use that online and everything. And if you decide to go with the traditional way of using motion inputs and mixing your buttons, that's an option too. It's pretty much beginner friendly in that regard.
I actually used to play a pretty decent amount of Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yeah.
Or Fighters, whatever.
Fighters. Yeah.
Yup.
Well, yeah, Fighters.
Let me try to remember. My team was Gotenks, Yamcha, and someone else. I don't remember.
Might be a Goku or Vegeta, maybe. Who knows?
It might be Goku. It might be Goku or Vegeta.
Yeah, those are...
I think it might be like boring old Super Saiyan Goku.
Yeah. Well, my team wasn't so far to that. Like Yamcha, Goku, and Frieza, I think. Those are the ones I picked.
I was just glad to have a Dragon Ball fighting game where Yamcha was usable.
Oh, true.
In like a competitive level, like finally a Dragon Ball Z fighting game that isn't just about the power difference between these characters and something that we can actually take as serious competition.
Well, true. There is an obscure game that doesn't do that, like the power level difference and all of that. And that is a little game on the PS2 called Super Dragon Ball Z. In that game, it's basically Dragon Ball meets Tekken and Street Fighter at the same time. You have the motion inputs, you have the 3D environment of Tekken, but you also have the kind of combos Okay, you have the combos kind of similar to Street Fighter. You have to make motion inputs for some attacks. Some motion inputs are a little bit complicated, but it's a pretty fun time, and you can play as Chi-Chi, for example, against Cell or Majin Buu or someone like that, and you still can win.
I played a lot of Budokai Tenkaichi 3 on the way.
Yeah, that's a pretty common Dragon Ball game to start with.
Yup.
I'm a little bit.
That was my jam.
I'm a little bit embarrassed there because I had my competitive time on Budokai Tenkaichi 3 locally. I ended up winning some stuff, but yeah, my controllers don't like that. My poor PS2 controllers.
You know what I think the best Dragon Ball game is, and by extension, I think it's one of the best anime video games. Period. Is Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans for the Nintendo DS.
I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting at least the how is the Dragon Ball Z Legends on the Game Boy Advance? Those RPGs.
Legacy of Goku.
Yeah, the Legacy of Goku series. Yeah.
Those are fine. Those are fun. I think the combat leaves quite a bit to be desired at its worst. At its worst, it has some rough moments. I think that, like, all the way through, though, Attack of the Saiyans was really solid. I think a turn-based RPG was, like, a really fun take for the franchise. To have, like, a party composition of, like, Yamcha, Gohan, and Piccolo doing, like, team supers. And it had, like, so much of, like, the content that was introduced in filler was included in the game as, like, side quests and boss fights. And, like, there's a secret boss fight with Broly. And, like, it was just rad. It was just so friggin' rad.
I have to admit, that sounds pretty interesting. And if I have to recommend a Dragon Ball game for story content only, go with Budokai Tenkaichi 2. That game has the most expansive, most, like, bloated story mode I've ever seen. Like, you have the whole...
Bloated doesn't sound like a good thing.
Yeah, that's not a word I wanted to use. It's really big. That's the word I wanted. It's really big because you have not only the regular sagas and movie stories, you have also alternative versions of stories and alternative takes on stories. For example, let's say Piccolo defeated Raditz when he came out to the Earth and he lost his memory because of the battle. He ended up being good and all of that. It's another plot story.
Did have stuff like that, like the what ifs.
Yeah, the what if scenarios. Those things were so good. Like, what if Sarvon betrayed Frieza on Namek? Or what if Raditz ended up being a good guy? Those on a game, on a fighting game like Budokai Tenkaichi 2, that was cool! Like, that was a pretty good take on alternative scenarios. That I was impressed for that on a PS2 game. That much liberty for the team to do that. Holy shit. Ooh. Yeah.
I wish anime video games did more interesting things than generic Arena Fighter, honestly.
Yeah, I mean...
It's like, oh my god, Demon Slayer game! Wow, it's a fighting game.
I mean, the Dragon Ball Kakarot approach, that sounds really good, and I think they're doing that with One Piece, which I'm pretty excited of. I
was so mad at the One Piece trailer. We literally got 2 seconds of actual gameplay, and it was walking around in the overworld with visible UI. We don't know what the combat looks for. People are tweeting, this game looks awesome, I'm so gonna get it. You don't know what the game is!
No.
None of us know what the game is. It frustrates the crap out of me.
The only thing I have going for that is the approach they're giving to One Piece. At least it's not another arena fighter that, I don't know, Burning Blood I think was the last one. But yeah, I mean, if you think about it, an adventure game fits really well with the setting of One Piece. I really love that idea. But yeah.
That's true. I think One Piece... There was this One Piece JRPG they had on the 3DS that had iffy gameplay, but was still fun nonetheless, and that was One Piece Romance Dawn. What a title.
I think they did a beat-em up adventure game for Dragon Ball, like not Dragon Ball Z, vanilla Dragon Ball. And I think it's Return of the King, or Return of King Piccolo. That game, it's on the Wii, and that game looks fun.
I've never heard of this game.
I saw some gameplay of it, and I remember liking it a lot.
A side scroller.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's kind of
Why don't we
similar
got
to.
more of that?
I don't know. There is a
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance game of Dragon Ball 2. I don't remember the name of it, but it was kind of similar. It was a 2D beat 'em up, side scroller. I don't know.
Sick.
Yeah, it even had a kind of 2D fighting game incorporated as a multiplayer feature. You can play as Goku, Krillin, Tao, I think
Wow.
Tien and Jackie Chun. That was sick. But yeah, pretty much anime games nowadays. I think at least from Dragon Ball Kakarot and One Piece Odyssey, I hope they do the same approach to other anime games. Like imagine it. I don't know. My Hero Academia exploring an open world city, being a hero and all of that. Or maybe an RPG, traditional RPG type of game for Bleach or something.
Please, Bleach is sorely lacking like some good video games. Especially good video games that you can still play today.
Yeah, true. There are some animes that are lacking a game or two. But yeah, like a good game or two. But yeah, like Kimetsu no Yaiba, I was expecting like it in a story-heavy game, having the beautiful animation and the with kind of okay story it has. Don't get me wrong, I watched the Mugen Train movie for Kimetsu, and I'm still crying for that movie. But
I still haven't seen it. I watched season 1 of the anime, still haven't seen the movie, haven't seen season 2.
Not going to spoil it then. Just watch it. It's a pretty heartwarming type of movie. But yeah. Whew. Let's hope now anime games gets better and better. Just for that. But okay. Oh, same Rocco. Yeah, go watch it. Trust me, it's worth the time. It's really worth the time.
Maybe we'll make it a watch party.
Maybe. What else? What else? Oh yeah. Did you know No Man's Sky?
What about it?
Okay, so going back to the reason why I don't like open worlds that much, because they can be really big. There can be a lot of content on them, but they also can be pretty empty. No Man's Sky has kinda the same situation, but instead of an open world, you have an open map. Like, you have a solar system or multiple solar systems you can explore. Every single planet is supposed to be different, and yada yada.
Open universe.
Yeah. So in the conference that happened today, they also showed Starfield, which is basically the same as No Man's Sky. It's the Bethesda take on No Man's Sky. The only thing I noticed it's kind of different there. It's you're basically exploring planets and you have this stuff to kill, like mercenaries, maybe some enemies and all of that. It's basically, imagine every planet having one or a few dungeons, and you have multiple solar systems to explore. That's, at least for me, a little bit too much. You have also resources to collect, you have also missions to follow, and I don't think that's going to sell well. At least for me.
Fair.
Yeah. But
anything you want to like cover before I burn out of energy? I feel myself ready to crash.
Yeah. I think we're pretty much done here. We have a good list of indies to look out for. We had a good 2-hour conversation here, or almost 2 hours.
Yeah, that ain't nothing.
Yeah,
a chunky one.
Yep, pretty much. Do you have anyone in mind we can rate? I always like to rate someone the guest recommends.
Me?
And maybe give him
Take
a follow.
look.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? A friend of mine is playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Oh, hell yeah!
I think that writes itself.
Yep, pretty much give me the name. Now.
Alright, let me type it in chat. Formerly Grumpy Gale but he changed his name recently to Gale Gabytes.
Gilgabytes. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Just call him Gale.
Yep, just call him Gale. He's a good dude.
Oh shit.
I actually haven't like sat down and looked at gameplay of DBZ Kakarot.
Well, you should look at it. It's okay. It's a really big RPG, open world. You have mini games and all of that. You're basically playing on the world of Dragon Ball, which is
I heard that the main issue with Kakarot was that it was just too big in scope for them to really hone in and like polish some of the best parts.
Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention the commands today are this. !TG gives you all the socials for Rocco over here, including the link tree. And then you have GPL, which gives you the playlist I used today. If you want to give it a listen or visit Rocco's socials, go ahead. And that will be pretty much it. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and see you guys next time. Bye!
Bye!